Earth is a planet of short memories. We look at our modern concrete cities, our towering glass skylines, and our digital networks, and we assume permanence. We like to believe that once humanity tames the wild landscapes of this world, our footprint remains forever. But nature operates on a different clock. To the planet, human empires are nothing more than a passing season. Across thousands of years, magnificent cultures have risen to the absolute peak of architectural and social genius, only to vanish so completely that the earth swallowed them whole. They left no written records, no blueprints, and no warnings.
Today, we journey into the quiet, forgotten corners of our world to uncover three massive ancient civilizations that were completely reclaimed by the natural world, leaving behind mysteries that challenge everything we think we know about our past. Our first descent takes us deep into the heart of the Amazon basin. For centuries, mainstream history taught a definitive narrative. The Amazon rainforest was a pristine, untouched wilderness, historically incapable of supporting large-scale human populations due to its poor soil and hostile terrain. Early European explorers told wild, frantic stories of massive cities hidden deep within the jungle. But when later expeditions went looking for them, they found nothing but trees. The explorers were dismissed as myth-makers. But recently, the forest floor gave up its secrets. Using advanced LiDAR technology, a system that shoots billions of laser pulses from aircraft down through the dense jungle canopy, scientists stripped away the trees digitally. What they found left the archaeological world in absolute silence. Beneath the dense, choking green canopy of the Llanos de Mojos lies an interconnected network of ancient urban centers that flourished over 1,000 years ago. These weren't small tribal villages, they were massive, engineered landscapes spanning miles. The LiDAR scans revealed monumental platforms, 20-foot-high pyramids, artificial reservoirs, and elevated causeways stretching straight through the swamps to connect distant towns. These ancient peoples didn't just live in the Amazon, they reshaped it. They engineered a hyper-fertile, artificial soil known as terra preta, allowing them to farm the rainforest floor and feed hundreds of thousands of people. Yet by the time the first European boots stepped onto the continent, this entire urban network was completely dark. The people vanished, and within decades, the aggressive, relentless growth of the jungle reclaimed the stone, buried the pyramids, and turned a sprawling metropolitan empire back into an unmapped wilderness. Nature didn't just conquer the city, it erased it from memory. If a city built of stone can be entirely consumed by a forest, imagine how easily the earth can erase an empire using the weight of the sea. Our second journey takes us to the edge of the Mediterranean, where for over 1,000 years, a legendary metropolis was believed to be nothing more than a ghost story told by ancient Greek poets. The city was Heraklion. According to ancient texts, it was Greece's gateway to Egypt, a magnificent, wealthy port city where pharaohs were crowned and international traders exchanged gold, spices, and exotic silks. It was a place of soaring temples, massive stone monuments, and complex shipping canals. And then, in the blink of an eye, it completely disappeared from human history. By the 2nd century BC, all geographical references to Heraklion vanished. For 2 millennia, historians searched the coastlines of Egypt, finding absolutely no trace of its existence. It was eventually written off as a mythological fable, a sister legend to Atlantis.
Until the turn of the 21st century, an underwater team scanning the dark waters of Abu Qir Bay miles away from the modern coastline noticed a massive unnatural shadow on their sonar equipment. Diving down into the murky depths through 30 feet of water and layers of shifting silt, they touched solid stone. They had found Heraklion. The sea had kept the city frozen in time. Divers uncovered colossal red granite statues of pharaohs lying face down on the seafloor, gold coins glinting in the dark sand, and the waterlogged remains of over 16 ancient shipwrecks trapped in the harbour. But how does a massive stone-built gateway to an empire just slide into the ocean? The answer lies in the fragile relationship between human engineering and geological instability. Heraklion was built on a volatile delta, a catastrophic combination of heavy stone architecture, a sudden earthquake, and severe flooding triggered a rare phenomenon known as soil liquefaction. In a matter of hours, the solid clay beneath the city turned completely to liquid. The foundations gave way, and the entire metropolis, its temples, its palaces, and its citizens, slipped quietly into the dark depths of the Mediterranean. The ocean closed over it, and the tides spent the next 2,000 years washing away its memory.
From the crushing pressure of the deep sea, we turn to the opposite extreme of nature's power, the relentless, shifting sands of the great deserts. Our final stop brings us to a vast, silent wasteland where a highly advanced civilization managed to defy nature for over 500 years, only to be starved out by the landscape they thought they had mastered. This is the story of the Garamantes, a lost empire that once dominated the blistering heart of the Sahara Desert. Traditional history states that the deep Sahara has always been an empty, uncrossable void of death. But beneath the massive sand dunes of modern Libya, archaeologists have mapped a sprawling urban civilization that lived in absolute luxury amidst the most hostile climate on Earth. The Garamantes built grand cities, fortified castles, and traded across thousands of miles of desert. But their greatest achievement wasn't their wealth, it was their water. The Sahara had no rivers or rain, so the Garamantes engineered an incredibly complex subterranean irrigation network known as Foggara. They dug thousands of miles of gently sloping shafts deep into the solid rock hills, tapping into massive fossil water aquifers hidden deep underground. They literally pulled a river out of the ancient stone, transforming a dead desert into a lush, green agricultural paradise filled with flowing water, vineyards, and date palms.
For centuries, they were untouchable. But fossil water is a finite resource. As the generations passed, the underground water tables began to drop. The Garamantes dug deeper and wider, but eventually, the ancient stone ran completely dry. Without water, the green fields withered, the cities emptied, and the people scattered into the winds of history. Once the human maintenance stopped, the Sahara did what it always does. The desert winds pushed massive, multi-ton sand dunes over the cities, burying the castles, choking the underground tunnels, and smoothing the landscape back into a flat, empty sheet of gold. The Amazon, Heraklion, the Garamantes. Three completely different worlds, destroyed by three completely different forces of nature.
yet their message to us is exactly the same. We build our world to last forever, but we are guests on a planet that plays by its own rules. The jungle, the ocean, and the sand are always waiting at the edges of our vision, ready to reclaim the Earth whenever we falter. If you find peace in uncovering the quiet, forgotten truths of our world, consider subscribing to our channel. The Earth still holds countless secrets, and together, we will continue to listen. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next chapter.